We are waiting for some feedback. YouTube says it's receiving my content. Let's see if everything's working. Do we have audio? We've got audio. Okay. Excellent. So, this is the power supply out of a HP, something of the other monitor, which we were working on in a stream the other night. People are showing up in the chat. Yes, audio, good. The story behind this is this power supply had a failed rectifier diode on the secondary side, and I replaced it with this bodge job, which promptly proceeded to not work. Strangely, it would work on 150 volts DC fed from my lab power supply, but it would not work on 230 volts from the mains. Oh dear, YouTube's telling me I've got video issues. Viewers will experience buffering. What's going on? Why is this not working? Why is this not working? Okay, we'll hope for the bitrate issues to go away. This is looking horrible. Anyway, we'll keep on trucking. There's nothing I can do about it. This thing, what was I saying? Yeah, so this diode was getting hot when the power supply was being powered from the mains, but not from 150 volts DC, leading me to suspect that it might be just on the edge of its breakdown voltage. Now, this diode was recycled from a PC power supply feeding probably a 12 volt rail. It's 60 volt rated. The original failed diodes, these guys, were also 60 volt rated, but then again they had failed. So what I'm thinking is, at the 230 volts, we're going to have more energy in the transformer. It's likely going to produce a stronger transients across this diode, which potentially could cause it to go into avalanche mode and start connecting backwards and conducting and doing all sorts of horrible things. So my proposed solution for this is to just bring in more of these diodes. I would cut these guys out of the power supply, and I did a rudimentary check. It should be possible to just kind of lay them out like so, if I cut the trace there, and it should be fine. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to rebuild this to use two diodes in series. And to start off, we of course have to change soldering iron tips, because I forgot to do that beforehand. This guy's not big enough, so cue beeping. Worst part of it, our 2900 series beeper is you do need it, so you can't just cut it out. Frame buffering still works. YouTube is not in a good mood. I'm going to see if I can change the bitrate. I think I can't. Let's see if that applies directly. OBS says I've dropped my bitrate, so let's hope we're in good shape as far as video streaming is concerned. Let us hope, and let us get to work. Where are my tweezers? Oh, my garbage tweezers. These are completely ruined, but I get enough of this. People are saying it's fine, and YouTube is now also telling me it's fine after I dropped the bitrate. Probably the reason this is working intermittently is I'm actually using a 4G connection to do all my streaming. The reason I'm doing more streams as of recently is because I finally got it to work with the rest of my network. But while 4G might be more a bit faster than my ADSL, it is not more reliable. There's the old diode out. Let's just suck those holes dry. The cow. There we go. Chat is saying 1080p streaming, it works. Okay. So let's see. Geez, you're overexposed. I've tried using auto exposure on this thing, but it doesn't work well at all. So the plan is to throw the old one away and basically install 2 diodes, more or less like that. So I'm going to cut the trace right around along the edge of this one, and I'm going to cut the tab off of the diode as well. So now we'll just cut this right around there. There we go. I think this guy needs to be slightly smaller, so we'll do it like so. That's 2 cut TO220s, and we're going to have to cut the middle leg of these guys as well, because we're using the tabs as the middle conductor. Snippety. So at this stage this monitor is far beyond economical repair. We're just doing this for shit. This is not worth it at all. We've already put like 2.5 hours of work into this device. And it's a cheap consumer grade TN monitor. Really not getting much value from... oh yeah. Killing all the headphone users. There we go. We're really not getting much value for money out of this. It's just a fun thing. So the diodes fit pretty well like that, I'd say. So we need to draw a line where we want to cut a trace. I'm going to do that with my knife if I can find it. But it is of course lost in all the clutter, like everything else. There we go. Chet says, I like the slurping noise that desoldering gun makes. Indeed. So, I'm going to have to bring this a bit closer to my face. Stay in place. Stop moving about. I'm going to take a picture, which I should try and remember posting, of this horrible... ah shit, we can't do this actually. Because I'm noticing we've got the track running off in this direction. So we're going to have to cut this trace and just jumper it across. Else it's not going to work at all. Well, that's a bit of a setback. Stay in place. Yeah, we've got like €1,000 worth of camera equipment hanging from an old lamp and a €10 Lidl selfie stick. So we'll cut this trace right here, because that's going to have to be jumpered to the new secondary. Scratch. Felt a thick copper on this board, I'm surprised. I think that's cut now. Let's have a closer look. Yeah, that's cut just fine. Someone asks, what's the plan? Bridge rectifier 100 kHz. And we're just replacing an SMPS rectifier with the wrong one. That's all we're doing. I don't have a high enough voltage diode to do it properly, so I'm just bodging in 2. It's mostly for entertainment value, because I know you guys probably want to see this thing fixed. I was debating whether or not to just toss it in the garbage, but yeah, we've put so much time and effort into this thing already. So you go there, that means right there. That means we want to cut this trace. Let's cue camera noises. Let's turn on the light. That's actually very useful. Stops you guys down a bit. Okay, actually disregard the light. That's awful. I need to see what I'm doing. Diodes casting a shadow. There we go. Keep it streaming at 1080p. Excellent view. Okay. So roughly along that line. Should be a good cut. I want this to be somewhat wide actually, so I'm just going to bring in the Dremel, because we want to remove a fair amount of material. Dremel fetching noises. Where are my safety? I have my safety glasses at hand. Safety glasses, hearing protection, all in order. We even have a power outlet within reach. Well, that's looking absolutely horrid. What on earth? Is my chuck bent? Yeah, this thing is bent. That's horrible. Oh well. We'll make do. It's fine. It's fine. In fact, I'll probably mute this. There we go. That ought to do it. That's looking reasonably cut. Let's just probe that to make sure. Beep. No. Oh, there's a little bit right there, the edge still left. We'll just scratch that off. That should be okay. Yep. No connection between there and no connection between there or anywhere. So got a little isolated spot for our new mid-diode junction to be. You guys need more exposure. Doing it for exposure. Oh, hang on, what's going on? Did this tree just break entirely? Why is this not working right? I think I'm having internet issues. Let's step down the bitrate a bit more. How annoying. 3 megabits. Three megabit. It broke for a second. It's working. Yeah, that's what you get when you're dealing with horrible, horrible internet out in the woods. So now I just want to scratch off a shit ton of this copper in order to get our diode on there. So I'll just scratch all of that stuff off. Then we'll go from there. What's my best scratching tool? Probably the knife. This is a bit too wide. What did I use last night? I don't remember. Whatever last, yes. Oh yeah, I usually use my trashy old screwdriver. Old worn out screwdriver. Works well. It's just dull enough. Having something overly sharp for this just makes you cut through the copper in a tiny spot instead of scrubbing it off in a wide area. Oh, that's decent. I want to cut off this corner of a diode as well, because it's kind of bridging onto another track. Arrgh. There we go. And I'll just scratch off a bit of copper around here to make it easier to get both legs of a diode connected. Or we'll just monger them. Yeah, we'll just monger both of them down through the hole. I think that'll be fine. We'll just do it. Oh no, they don't fit down the hole. They do not fit down the hole, so we need to rub some copper off. Scrubby, scrubby, scrub. Oh, we don't need to rub copper off, we need to rub solder mask off. We can get one down the hole there. Bendy. There we go. Other one just goes kind of on there. Like so. There we go. That ought to connect decently. We're not bridging onto any other tracks, I don't think. Yeah, let's solder that in place. Chat says, put your antenna on the roof. I don't have an outdoors 4G radio thing. And people are complaining that the stream again has it broken. I have lakritsbåtar. Oh, for fuck's sake. What's causing my connection to fail? Like, it seems to just intermittently cut out completely. I've opened up a ping command. Let's keep an eye on it, because it's like OBS is reporting 0 bits output. 4 seconds every 2 minutes, someone says. That's odd. There shouldn't really be any other loads. Oh no. It is kind of intermittently just dropping packets. But what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? This is high quality content delivered through high quality production gear. Let's just get this thing over with. I have other things to be doing. That's good. That's soldered in place. I just need to fill in underneath the tab. In fact, no, I'm not going to solder that until I've got the other diode in place, because we want to have the legs of this one touch there. So this guy's going to go roughly there. And I made a mistake, I should have put this guy as far over there as I could, but oh well, we make do. So for this one we kind of want to just rub some copper off around here-ish. I'll desolder one end of that resistor to make it easier to scrub. There we go. And now we'll rub one off. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. High quality shooting. Scratchy scratch. This is a high quality repair performed by qualified personnel. Do not try this at home. Is it still dropping out? I keep dropping packets. I keep dropping packets. What's the chat say? I don't get it. You cut off one trace from a PCB and you're soldering on the diode to the trace that's not connected anywhere. Indeed we are, because we're putting these two diodes in series so that we get one diode from here, this is just a dummy pad, and then another diode to the actual output, because the reverse voltage of these two diodes on their own, I suspect, is not high enough. So we are using two diodes to make one 120 volt rated diode rather than a single 60 volt rated diode. This could all be averted if we had a proper diode to use, but we don't. We just have these, so we're making do. And I'm also curious to find out how well this actually works with these Schottky diodes in a relatively high frequency application. So it's all a bit of an experiment. There we go, this guy can go there. We need to monger this leg over there. Like we'll just use brute force. It needs to go up and over. And it can't go too high up actually. In fact, we'll just bridge that over there, like so. Because if we go above a plastic capsule, we'll just have it touch the case, and we can't have that. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. I think that is fine. Zoom. Aye. RIP, people are saying. Yeah, we dropped a few packets again. MOSFET diode, someone says. What? What? Now we'll just start by soldering this guy in place, because that gives us more mongering room with the legs, which are more bendy. It would be preferable if it's stuck in place. That went horribly wrong. Starting with a try again. Wrap it around. Drop it. That's an important part. Have to allow it to get a taste for a PCB. Wrap it there, making sure not to short it to the middle connector there. That would be bad. That would make this diode a short circuit. And that would entirely ruin the purpose of this modification. And we don't want that. We want to be productive. We want to make something ugly which works. Let's just kind of bend that down so it doesn't go above a plastic capsule. In fact, we promptly shorted it to a middle connection, which is bad. That is wrong. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. Come on. That's good enough. We'll put some tape on it. Yeah, let's... You go out of the way. This is... fuck it, it's going to be good enough. If I fail at soldering this, we don't really need both diodes anyway. These are strong enough to do the entire rail with 1 to 2 internal diodes. So it's fine, and that's horrible. Oh god, that is so horrible. Jeez, that went all wrong. That went so wrong. So wrong. Ah well. Ah well. Solder this as well. There we go. Huge blobs of solder. Was the stream broken again? Ah. It's looking so bad every time I look at my... What happens if I just stop the stream and start it over again? Is this working? I just restarted the stream in case it's going to connect us to a different server, if that's the issue, because the internet connection in itself seems to be reasonably stable, but the stream going out to YouTube seems to be dropping out more frequently. Stream broken, it's back. It's broken for me. Now YouTube is telling me that I'm live and offline at the same time. This seems to be working now. Let's hope it keeps that up. So I did an absolutely horrible job at soldering this because it's way too high. We can't go above the plastic capsule, so we'll just squeeze that together and resolder it. We're not going for beauty points, just for style. There we go. That ought to do it. I think that will work, but I'll have to remember to put a bit of tape over this just to make sure it doesn't short against the case, because this is going to be basically squeezed up against the panel when that's installed. So we'll just forcibly bend that leg down there, and I think that's fine. And everything's lagging again. Fuck's sake. I can't wait to have my fiber optic internet installed. But that's going to take quite a while to get through. Sadly. Until then we're stuck with 4G. And all the pains associated with that. There we go. That should be stuck on there decently. Why does the chat doesn't work when it goes offline? Is that the case? I have no idea. Ask YouTube. I'm sure they will tell you. Let's just solder that as well. And then we're pretty much done. We just need to get a final jumper to the trace we cut earlier. Like so. And let's get rid of the solder ball, because that's not productive. Grabby, ouch, that's very hot. So what we've achieved now is 2 series diodes and just having this dummy pad here. act as an intermediary to connect them together. This is horrible. Nicholas Abreu says, "Hey FF Cossack." Hello Nicholas Abreu. Chat asks, "I have a question. Won't that solder short with underneath trace of a copper?" And we just dropped out while I was reading that, didn't we? Check for shorts though, people are saying. I don't think there's any shorts. I think we're fine. But there's no point making assumptions when we can just prove our case, and let's just do that. Meter. We should be seeing 2 Schottky drops from one end to the other, so from here it should be 1 Schottky drop. No, that's shorted. And from there we should be seeing 2. Well, that seems shorted as well. All these are like ridiculously low voltage drop diodes. That is odd though. That seems... that looks really weird actually. Oh, shut up. Do we still have a short here? 25 ohms. What do we have from here? 30 ohms. Do we have something in the other direction? That seems reasonably open circuit. These could be like one of those modern ridiculously low voltage drops diodes. But I'm not sure, this looks weird. But I really don't see how we could be having an issue. There's... shouldn't be a short between these two. There isn't. This is odd. Nicholas Abreu asks, "When are you going to do more computer modding and rebuilding videos/streams?" I have no idea. When I feel like it. I think this, while it does measure weird, is just fine. So we'll just jump over to our trace and see what it does. If it still works on 150 volts DC, or if we just ruined it. These diodes are measuring very weird. And they are coming out of it like a broken computer power supply, so God knows if they're actually working. I'm just kind of blindly assuming that they are. Chad says, "I'd love to see more audio related stuff maybe." Well, I do videos whenever I feel like them, and when there's, you know, interesting stuff on the shelf. But I don't have a schedule. I don't have a backlog of interesting things to make videos about. I just make whatever comes to mind. Whatever I feel like doing. I'm very non-committal about this. There we go, that's one end installed. This goes there and over there. And snip. Yeah, and snip. And I will just tack that on with a giant blob of solder. I think that will be good. Yeah, I didn't reflow the entire joint, but I think it's fine. It shouldn't fall off. Funlip says, "Next video, whatever is in the recycling." Yes, that makes sense. That's what I usually make videos about. Anyway, I think this should now work. If it doesn't, then then I'm going to be somewhat annoyed. Perhaps we should be trying to use diodes from a different power supply, because these do measure somewhat weird. And it's probably wise to actually measure the diodes coming out of garbage before putting them into something which you're expecting to work. Someone says, are you going to do a repair on a Dell U2410? I would like that, since I can't find out what the fuck's wrong with it. I don't have a Dell U2410. So, the answer is no. I'm not going to repair a thing which I don't have. So, I'm just gonna rudely power it on with a power supply now. And since I don't think my webcam's working, you are not going to see anything. Oh, hang on, I think that webcam might be working. Let's see. Webcam PIP. Okay, that looks decent. Let's just do that. I know. Webcam. There we go. That's not bad. So we can monger this thing to the power supply. Attach it to something like a roll of tape, and you guys can see I got a melt in the USB cable. There you go. Power supply monitor. And we'll just turn that up and see what it does. Drawing no current, because the scale is disconnected. So let's just measure, see if we got anything across our output cap. Hey, we got a voltage. That's looking really good. That's looking really good. So, to some extent, our diode thingy is working. So let's connect the scaler and see what it does. Let's just keep monitoring that voltage. The power is off now, by the way. So power on. Drawing 10 milliamps. 40. This is not drawing an excessive amount of current. We have a reasonably stable voltage. Our diodes are not on fire. So I think this could be actually working. So let's try it on 230 and see what it does. And let's grab... I have entirely bent the frame while it's been lying in a pile of rubble overnight. Let's just connect this so we have the power LED as a bit of an indicator as to what's going on. Because the power LED yesterday was just kind of flickering on and off. Yesterday, when I was doing the stream a couple of days ago. So we'll hook this up, give it some 240, and hopefully the stream won't cut off while it's catching on fire. So, where's my 240? 230. There's my 230, and it is off, and I can turn it on. So let's see what we get. Let us see. Contact. Power LED's unstable. I think perhaps we've fixed this. It's drawing 8 watts, 7 watts. That's a fair amount of power. Are these getting hot now? These are not getting hot. So I can move this guy to show you the parameter instead, actually. And while doing that, you can have a look at the horrible amount of clutter we have going on here, because I'm a lazy twat. Just, gah. This place is such garbage right now. Utter garbage. Let's see, we've got enough lead to get you to the mains voltage meter, so you can have a bit of insight as to what's going on, since we actually have 2 cameras working today. Like, hooray. This is the channel where we have issues getting a webcam working. Yet you expect me to repair electronics. What's wrong with you? There we go, I think. And you can't see shit. We can solve this. I'm sure we can solve this. Where are my third hands? I just got the webcam clamped onto my laptop right now. Okay, that's just not going to work at all. You'll have to take my word for it. Let's make this a wide cam and be done with it. You can go like that. Like so. Yeah. That's good. Sorry. And what's the chat got to say? Someone says just arrived. Welcome. Is the display still in acid mode? No, we fixed that with the LVDS cable last night. Point that power supply to your face. How many agree with me? No, that would be painful, and you guys don't want me to be in pain. What's wrong now? I don't think anything's wrong. I think this is going to work. Why such weird volts? Because my power supply is just a DC power supply, and it doesn't go above 150. But 150 volts DC is roughly what you get out of a 120 volts rectified main supply, so I just use that to test switch mode power supplies, because it's a lot easier to current limit than the mains. So we'll put this frame somewhere else. Install all the wiring to the panel once again, as we did far too many times yesterday. Can we get this a bit wider? No. This main is cancer. Remind me to show you how cancer my camera mount actually is, because it is hilarious. It is a joke. So here goes the horrible, awful backlight cable in once again, and I'm expecting this to break anytime, because it's a flat flex which has been inserted about 10 times too many. Come on, in you go. In you go. In you go. Okay, backlight in. Let's hope for... Well, you guys are free to hope for an explosion. I'm hoping for a working monitor. Click. Power. Yeah, we could actually be shorting everything to ground right now, so we need to kind of raise this up a bit. There we go. Okay. Power. Contacts. Blue LED. backlight, it lives. It's drawing 30 watts, which is quite significant, but I think that might be the case because I think I set it to maximum brightness. Let's give it some signal, see if we can get a smug anna on it again. This time an actually applicable smug anna. Hey, there we go. It lives. Finally. Finally it lives. Still drawing 30 watts, which is significant. I hope it's not going on fire. The backlight is flickering. This is not good. What happens if we turn this down? I think this thing is not healthy right now. The backlight keeps on flickering. It keeps drawing a fair bit of power all the time. Yeah, this is flickering horribly. But it's actually not the backlight flickering. It's not the backlight flickering, it's just you guys being entirely underexposed. But if we have a look down here, you can see we have flicker on the display image, but there's no flicker on the menu. So this is just a question of my laptop having a terrible VGA output, and I bet if we hook this up to a digital source it's going to look fine. Can we do that? What output and input do we have? We've got DVI, DP and VGA. Lights back on, please. What cables do I have? What cables do I have? I have DP to HDMI, which doesn't fit anything. I have a really short DP lead. Maybe, just maybe, we can fit the world's shortest DP lead into my laptop, because I think it has DP. I think it has DP, and now you'll lose image. No, we only have DP on the docking station. Well, that's good. Yeah, there we have DP. So let's just battery power our docking station. Guys, a bit of a view of what's going on. Let's get DP in there. Click. Definitely no flickering on that. That's good. DP in there. How does it look now? That's looking a lot better. Why does it go black? Yeah, this is looking fine. This is looking absolutely fine. Well, that's good. Okay, I think we've fixed this thing. Love the background, says the chat. Oh god, what's... we've middle clicked. It didn't explode. I feel 30 watts is normal for this. Yeah, 30 watts could be. It's a rather old model. The newer ones tend to be very, very efficient. My 32-inch TV draws like 15 watts on medium brightness. Imagine it suddenly explodes. It could. Yeah, boy. I remember he said yesterday it's CCFL. This is not CCFL, this is LED. What's drawings? Okay, anyway, I'm gonna class this as working now. Because let's just make sure it can also turn off. Power off. Yep. Oh, it's one of these annoying links which disconnect the DisplayPort link when you turn it off. But yeah, it's working just fine. Actually I want to make sure it works at 1080p. It doesn't flicker in case there was some issue with the scaler. But nope. Not a trace of flickering on that. Not a trace of flickering. Yep, this is good. We will reassemble this. And you guys are going to get to enjoy that. Why did it just turn off? I have no idea. And then someone asked what's next on the fixing list. I have no idea. I have a workshop full of junk. There are always things which need fixing. I spent all day yesterday. It's connected on VGA now, it's not flickering anymore. Could be the power supply for my laptop. I spent all day yesterday building the world's worst shelf. So I'm hoping I'm going to have a bit more space in the workshop for actual projects soon. But like, the whole channel for the time being is in a bit of a state of despair because I'm waiting to move the workshop, and since I'm waiting to move the workshop I'm not bothering cleaning the place up properly. So this place is just a scrap heap of garbage because half of all this stuff is stuff I cleaned out and I'm just waiting to reinstall everything in a different location. So this place is in a state of despair. But luckily, it's for a good cause. Shrink. So let's just get this monitor put back together. Let's get this Dremel out of the way because that's incredibly in the way. Where are you? Oh god, we're just dropped out. Where are you moving it to? Someone asks. Upstairs in this house. So not very far, but to a much more pleasant location. To a much more pleasant location. It's an organic camera mount. Indeed, you should only ever buy organic camera mounts, except if you want quality. So we actually have to disconnect the LED backlight cable once more. Click, because I want to put a bit of tape over the diode and we need to connect, add all the screws so the power supply doesn't fall out, because nothing's actually assembled right now. So with my luck, the LED backlight cable is going to break the next time when we actually try to assemble it properly. Give me some light. There we go. So we want some Kapton tape. Someone says, yes, show us the cancer mount. I will do that because I promised. Yes, you will see the cancer mount. So there is the camera you're viewing on. So this is the Panasonic HC VX980 with the heavy wireless micro-receiver mounted on a €10 Lidl selfie stick, which is very, very plasticky, and not at all sturdy, which is held together, or held to a roughly 30-year-old lamp with some foam and a bolt, single bolt. So this is not stuck on there very well at all. And we have a wire loom going up there. This thing is falling apart, and it's just stuck to a piece of wood which is clamped to a shelf. And this has incredible amounts of slack to it. Like, fine adjustments on this is just impossible, because it has that much slop in it. Moving it up, like you can see, I lift it and I let it go and it comes down 10-15 centimeters. It's just not quite professional, but it works. It's a very good use of free old, like, boom lamps. So I am somewhat proud over my achievement in designing it. It does work, and if I were to try and purchase an actual professional mount capable of doing this, I would be eating porridge for a year. So it's not all bad. It's just a tad cumbersome. What does the chat say? Only the best on of Cossack. Truly. I like how it is 0.5 FPS. Oh. Well, connection issues. A good old socialist lamp mount, lol. Yeah, that's true. Oh god, why is my internet connection falling apart? Or rather, why is my connection to the YouTube servers falling apart? My internet connection is continuously just fine, but packets seem to be disappearing going to YouTube specifically, which is just great. Someone says switch cameras. What do you mean switch cameras? I assure you, you don't want me to mount the webcam on this boom because it has the resolution of a limp dick. So we'll just put some tape on here, like so. Add another layer for posterity, and then we're good. I need to clean my scissors because they're full of garbage, making it impossible to cut Kapton tape. Like, when you're dealing with Kapton tape, this stuff is so thin that you actually need to have excellent scissors in order to handle it. It's odd. You'd think, oh, all the Chinese do it, but nope. You need excellent scissors. So to sum this repair up, the power supply just had a shorted diode, which is very, very common on these types of power supplies. And then we had it wrong and got all confused, and now we've repaired it even wronger, but now it works. And that's fine. Now we'll install all the wrong screws to keep this in place, if I can find them. And then we're good. I have there all the wrong screws are. Not two identical ones. Please tell me you're not on Bredband2, their throttling streaming services. No, I'm on Sonera, since I'm in Finland. Journey Jacob says, hello, how are we doing? We're doing quite well. We just repaired this monitor. Finally. I mean, it's 0.5 frames per second when you switch cameras for a while, and sometimes in between. Yeah, that's probably because keyframes, and it's going to be very difficult for the H.264 algorithm thing to properly compress such a big change in video content. You'll just have to deal with it. It's how modern video compression techniques work. We want to have a panel installed before we put on the front bezel, because we have very little use for a front bezel without a panel. Let's just wipe the dust over this. Pro tip for dusting displays: sleeves. This is one of the best ways I've actually figured out. Just slap it lightly and all the dust goes away. No need for microfiber cloths. As long as it's just dust and no goop and spit and other bodily fluids. Just don't compress your video. If I had the option of streaming uncompressed video, I would. That would look excellent. FF, do some of your PC whisperer things. My what now? I whisper to PCs. I might have whispered to PCs at some point, but I don't see what exactly you mean. I heard the noise in the background that sounded like squealing. That's the washing machine, because this is the washroom. My workshop is in the washroom, which is part of why I want to move it somewhere else, because it's cold and loud and there's a washing machine here. And also a shower. I know. Generally, it's not advisable to have your shower very close to your sensitive electronics workshop. That's not how you usually do it. This room is very often just basically full of steam. Wow, you guys are seeing nothing of what's going on. That's somewhat better. Pop this bad boy in. There we go. All the bezel. This is all dirty and horrible, but oh well. Don't really care. I don't give a fuck. This is a free monitor out of the trash. This thing has no value except for the like 4 hours I've spent repairing it, making it a rather expensive monitor emotionally. And this is the part where this is actually the wrong bezel and it doesn't fit properly. Ugh. Snap, 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 crackle, pop. Rip all headphone users. There we go. That's fine. I think I actually have a foot for this thing. So we'll put this aside and clean the undoubtedly incredibly dirty foot. And then we're done. This should be the correct foot. Let's just give it, in fact let's start by giving it a vacuum cleaning. So air. You guys look that way, I'm going to mute the microphone. Because this shit is loud. There we go. Vacuum cleaning completed. I'll just wipe this off in case there's any human slime on it. Someone says they've also picked this model HP monitor out of the dumpster. I'm not surprised. These are getting, 4-5 years old now. They're running into their planned obsolescence wall. They're designed to last about 4 years. Out of warranty and a bit more so the corporate customers are happy. And then they go kaboom. And then you get them for free. And then you have a shit ton of old monitors lying around. Do you control audio with your mind? No, I have a wireless microphone which has a mute button. There we go. I think that's clean enough. Ah, shit. We don't have the screws for this. There's the recessed types. Where am I going to find those? Do I have any in my computery screwy box? Let's check the computery screwy box out. I don't think I actually have any suitable monitor screws in here. No, it doesn't seem so. So I'm gonna have to go on a quest to find recessed M4s, or rather countersunk M4s. I have no idea where I could have a reliable source for those. Somewhere in the kingdom of trash. Nope, not in there. We venture deeper to a place so remote the camera cable won't reach. Let's see, in the M4 box, do we have anything in the M4 box? We have a few of the world's shortest M4s, which are in no way capable of holding a monitor. Oh, but I think we have some M4x10s which could potentially work. Good. Ideally I'd want like an M4x8 mil, but hopefully we can fit M4x10s. There we go. Oh, wow, someone gave me £5. Who gave me £5? Pureski. Thank you, Pureski, for giving me £5. Yeah, there we go, that's decent. Let's see if we can actually fit this in the monitor. So, Pureski, thank you for reminding everyone that the super chat is a thing which works, so you can give me money if you want. Although it's probably not justified for you to give me money for repairing free things. That doesn't make much sense. Let's see. I'm afraid that these screws might be too long. Oh no, they fit. These M4x10s work. Oh god, I'm dropping so many packets right now. I am dropping so many packets. Jeez. Jeez. Dropping so many packets. What's the chat say? People are complaining about Windows 10. The stream is self-editing. Well, that's excellent. Why is the audio going back? Why is the audio going back in the video? The fuck? What? I can see we're just entirely frozen now. Nothing much to do about it. Nothing to do about it. Well, you can give me money so I can afford a better internet connection. Well, that's what you can do about it. But no, that's not justified. Can we do this? Well, we can do this. There we go. Ta-da! So let's just bolt this thing together. Oh god, are we still frozen? Are we still frozen? YouTube is showing me a frozen screen, so I'm checking it out. And now YouTube's telling me 500 server error, which is even better. But it's not frozen anymore. But it's frozen again. It's not frozen, and it's frozen, and my internet connection's falling apart. Everything is falling apart. Let's just bring a ping counter up on the screen, and I can see my camera's moving on its own. Let's just add a capture of this thing. There we go. That's my internet connection. So it's working right now. I don't expect it to keep doing that. Oh, there's a timeout. There's a timeout. And it's frozen on my monitor. Ugh. 500 internal server error. Let's just finish this quickly so that we can stop this pain. I do like these HP monitor feet. They're nice and versatile. There we go. That's all mounted. Oh god, this mount. This is a hair-raising experience. My stream is still frozen on my monitor. This is awful. I have no way of knowing whether or not I'm getting through to you guys. Like, it's literally impossible for me to know if my stream is working because the stream preview keeps freezing, and it does that more frequently than the stream actually freezes on its own. And there's a shit ton of drop packages. It says it's offline. Yeah, we are so fucked. My 4G is not being a nice player today. We're going in and out, and in and out. Where's my DP cable? I just want to give this thing a quick power on test properly so I can let you guys go. So you don't have to endure this pain any longer. DP there. DP there. And we need a power cord. And we should be done. This will work. If this does not work, I'm getting annoyed. Contact. Ta-da! It's alive. It is alive. Oh, what a beautiful sight. What a beautiful sight. And now you get to see my YouTube preview, which is entirely frozen. Isn't that lovely? So what's going on in the chat? It's offline. Excellent. What did I miss? What caused the problem with the PSU? The issue was a shorted diode, then we failed to repair it, then we put 2 diodes in series, and now it works. So, I'm going to say that is it. That's a successful repair. And we're done, and I'm going to go troubleshoot my internet connection because this is unbearably bad. So, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Cheerio.